Evening, everybody. I don't know who's online, but if you'd like to say hi in the chat, that would be absolutely amazing. Hi, Matthew. How are you? I hope you're well. Who else do we have online tonight? You just say hi. Hi, Melissa. How are you? Hey, Annette. How are you? Hope you're well. I'll sort my laptop out a little bit. Happy Friday. Hey, Judith. So it's a little bit of a pop-up tour this evening. I had some work issues on Wednesday, so unfortunately I couldn't go live with the tour I planned on Wednesday. So thought it best to try and fit another one in, and tonight seemed to be the best night for it. Hi, Diane. So I hope you've all had a good week and it's not been too stressful for everybody. And you've got some nice plans for the weekend too. So we're going to get started in a moment. So tonight, I decided that I haven't done this one for a little while, so we're going to be talking about the Serapeum in Saqqara, which is where the Apis bulls were buried. So I do have some video, which is really nice, and I do have a little slideshow for you. Oh, I'll be getting that cooking show back on soon, Annette, I promise. Get some more mess in the kitchen. Oh no. Earwigs, never a good thing. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Fresh out the shower, what can I say? I just wish the double chins would disappear. A bit more exercise, hey? So the Serapeum in, as I said, is to do with the Apis bulls. So what I think we'll do first is we'll go through the video first so you can see it, and then we'll go into the slideshow so then it makes a little bit more sense for everybody, okay? So let me get the interactive on. Where are we? You know what? She's never far away from me. She's never ever far away from me. She's so funny. Now, I'm not sure if there's sound on here or not. I'm hoping that there is. I have tried to fiddle around with the sound quality for the video because I'm going through a third party thing to broadcast this tour. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, so hopefully just let me know if you can hear anything, any music. Hopefully you'll be able to, and that will make my life a lot simpler. So here goes. Let's go for our virtual walk around the Serapeum in Saqqara, which is in Cairo, next to the Step Pyramid, not far from there, by the way. That's where you'll find this particular place, and it is like a burial chamber. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Awesome. You're very right, Judith, it is you. There you go. That is the Serapeum in Saqqara. So that's the video for that one there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go on to a slideshow for you, and then we're going to go through the who's, what's, when's and why's of the Serapeum. Okay. Now, as you can see, we've got like it's like an underground tunnel system almost, which is quite incredible. So the Serapeum was an ancient burial place for sacred bulls of the Apis cult. So the Apis bulls at Memphis, not in America. We're not walking to Memphis, but kind of, I guess. So it was a cult of the Apis bull in Memphis. It was believed that the bulls were incarnations of the god Ptah, which would become immortal after death as Apis Osiris. Okay, so that's why we have the Apis bull. Over a time span of approximately 1,400 years, from the New Kingdom of Egypt to the end of the Ptolemaic period, at least 60 Apis were attested to have been interred into the Serapeum. So this is actually a layout of the actual Serapeum itself. So as you go in, you can see all the chambers that we have there. So we have 27. There's 27 sarcophagus, or well, I think there's about 25 actual chambers themselves. We've got like 26 and 27 there, but there's actually 25 chambers in all for the Apis itself. Within the Serapeum, the main body of the Serapeum. So we know that about 60 Apis have attested to have been interred into the Serapeum, even though we can only see today 25 chambers. For the earliest burials, isolated tombs were constructed. As the cult gained importance, underground galleries were dug at that connected subsequent burial chambers above the ground. The main temple enclosure was supplemented by shrines, workshops, housing, and administrative quarters. The Serapeum was closed in the beginning of the Roman period. Excuse me, after 30 BC. Every week I seem to cough more and more. Excuse me, I do this every week, don't I? In the subsequent centuries, large-scale looting took place. Many of the superstructures were dismantled and the burial vaults broken into most of the mummified Apis and their opulent burial goods removed. So it was in 1850, Augustus Mariette, discovered the Serapeum and excavated it over the following years. He removed 2 undisturbed Apis bull burials, as well as thousands of objects relating to the centuries of cult activity. So this is just some of those objects found within the Serapeum, which I think is quite amazing. These included commemorative stela with dates relating to the life and death of the Apis and the construction of their burial vaults. Okay. So this data was crucial for the establishment of the Egyptian can't get my words out today. Chronologically in the 19th century. I probably said that wrong again. Hi Sarah, how are you? The Apis cult dates back to the very early times, possibly founded by Pharaoh Memes around 3000 BC. And this is Pharaoh Memes here, look. Or what we believe to be him anyway. So the most ancient burials at the Serapeum were found in an isolated tombs dating back to the reign of Amenhotep III from the 18th dynasty. So this is actually a very rare photo of the lesser vaults. Okay, so you can get an idea of what those would have looked like. So then we Khemweset was working as an administrator during the reign of his father Ramses II, ordered a tunnel with the side chambers, now known as the Lesser Vaults, which we've just seen, to be excavated for the burial of the Apis bull. A second gallery, which we can see here, of chambers now called the Great Vaults, was commissioned under under Pharaoh's reign in around the 26th dynasty, extended during the Ptolemaic dynasties to approximately 350 meters in length, 5 meters tall and 3 meters wide, along with a parallel service tunnel from Ahmes II to the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty. The sarcophagi for the Apis were made from hard stone, weighing as much as 62 tons. That's a lot. That's a lot of weight. A long avenue flanked by 370 to 380 sphinxes likely was built under Nectanebo I, the founder of the 30th dynasty. Now we've seen sphinxes of Nectanebo. We've seen those in Luxor, on the Avenue Sphinxes in Luxor. So if you go to the video of Luxor Temple, where I take you on a tour around there, you will see the sphinxes there. Okay, so they would have been the same ones that you would have found here at the Serapeum too. So the disuse. The Serapeum was abandoned at the beginning of the Roman period, shortly after 30th BC, as we've said. Even so, the Apis continued to be buried elsewhere, in the Saqqara Abbasia region. So we'll get back to the sarcophagus in a minute. Let's go to Abbasia. So this is what they look like. Now in these pictures you don't really get the grandeur, but actually let's take you back one. You see the image to the left of your screen of the actual sarcophagus with the lid overhanging. You can actually stand underneath that with your arms above your head. Okay, not all the way up, but fairly up. So that gives you an idea of how big these sarcophaguses were, and they were made out of black granite, which is quite incredible. And they were all very much uniform as well, which I think is quite unbelievable. So the cult was moved to Abbasia in Saqqara, the region until the 3rd century AD. Anubius, an early Christian around 300 AD, stated that the Egyptians penalized anyone who revealed the places in which the Apis lay hidden, which is quite unbelievable. This also has the Sun Temple there. The pyramid doesn't look very very special from the outside of Abbasia. I've actually managed to, because you can't actually really go there, you're not supposed to visit Abbasia, but you obviously you can if you pay a little bit of extra money to go there, or you get a special permission to go there, but you can actually ride horses and camels past there. So the reason I've been so close to Abbasia is because of that. Also, just over, or just behind actually the temple here, I think it is, the pyramid here, is actually the temple of Sekhmet that they've just found as well, which I find really, really interesting. Where did I get to? So, looting of the Serapeum started at the time when hieroglyphics could still be read, as the name of the apis. Now, this is, by the way, this is a mummified apis bull, or the head of a mummified apis bull. So you can see, you know, they were treated very, very, very special. We'll get to this gentleman in a moment. So, so you can still read hieroglyphics back then. As the names of the bulls were scratched out on many of the stela, all tombs except 2 were plundered and desecrated. The bull mummies were torn to pieces, and the stones were piled on the sarcophagus as a sign of contempt, which is terrible. Can you imagine trying to do that today? It'd be awful. 4 events marked the carer of an apis: birth, installation, death, and burial. So this gentleman, I'm not even going to try and butcher his name, but this gentleman here, a Greek historian, reported that the bulls were honoured as gods and consecrated to Osiris, and seem to have been connected to the Sedfest, an ancient Egyptian ceremony that celebrated the continued rule of a pharaoh. So Sedfest was actually quite an important thing, and you can actually see some images of the Sedfest actually at Karnak Temple. If I can find my video of that at some point, I will go through that with you. So the Sedfest. Now, birth and installation. After the previous Apis had died, the priests then sought out a young bull the soul of Osiris had migrated to. By identifying certain bodily marks, Greek historian Herodotus, this gentleman here, reported that it needed to be black with a three coarse white spots on its forehead, the likeness of an eagle on its back, double tail hairs, and a knot under its tongue. I mean, it's very specific, isn't it? So this is actually an image of Osiris Apis. Okay, so I don't know if any of you have seen the statue in the museum, Cairo Museum, of I think we've said that it was Khafre, the Pharaoh Khafre, the one with the Bindle Pyramid, and he's got Horus on the back of his head here with his wings sort of like surrounding him. This is very, very similar actually to that statue, made out of the same material, but this one has the Apis bull. I'd love to know where this one is actually, because it's absolutely stunning, isn't it? With the bull on the back as well, it's incredible. Each of these marks had a special meaning. They symbolised, for example, the stars, the shape of the crescent moon and universe, and when the Nile would rise. So really, really important, very important things back in ancient Egyptian times. When the newly born Apis was found, the people would stop mourning. The calf was then kept at the Nilopolis in present-day Beniswave. We did that about a week ago with the Beniswave pyramids for 40 days, after which a barge with a gilded stall brought it to the Temple of Ptah in Memphis for the next 40 days. Only women were allowed to look at the Apis, who revealed their generative parts to it. Bit saucy, but at all other times women were forbidden in its presence. That's just very interesting. The mother cows were said to have been made pregnant by the light of heaven or the moonlight, and could never conceive again. They were kept with the Apis at Memphis and buried in their own catacomb. which is Isium, under kilometre northwest of the Serapeum. So there was another one just for the mother cows. I think it's really sweet. So they weren't allowed to get pregnant again, basically. So you can see just from these what the apis may have looked like. The centre picture here is more of a representation of what we read about what the apis should have looked like. So death and burial. When the apis died in the early days of the Serapeum, it was at least partially consumed by the remains, covered in so it was conserved in its glory. Basically, they mummified it. In a later period, so they would bury it. They wouldn't actually put it in a sarcophagus as such. Sorry, I had a bit of a brain moment there. In the later period, the time of the first sarcophagi in the Great Vaults, the burial ceremonies lasted for 70 days, so kind of almost the same as Pharaoh, really. Accordingly to the Apis papyrus, the bulls were embalmed for 68 days, and in the last 2 days, a series of funeral processions were held. The final one it would be to inter you into the Serapeum. The bulls were buried in splendour, reportedly hundreds of talents, which is 2.6 tons of silver. 2.6 tons of silver. I mean, can you imagine, where is all that silver today? Were sent by the caretakers for, were sent by the caretakers to be interred with the Apis bull, and this was all recorded by one of the Greek writers in the 1st century BC. I just think it's incredible, don't you think, that all that gold, all that silver, and we never know what happened to it. Where did it go? It must have gone and then just been melted down. I mean, the mind actually boggles about where all this stuff would go to. So there were 24 sarcophagi remaining in the Great Vault. The oldest dates to the last native ruler, Ammis II, around 550 BC. The final was made some 500 years later, during the reign of the first Roman Emperor Augusta. Most are over 2 meters in width and height and almost twice as long. They weigh around 40 tons, excluding their lids. These weigh at least half as much. The winches, rollers and rails found within the Serapeum might have been used to transport the stones through the narrow tunnels. The sarcophagi were lowered into their final position by removing the sand the burial chambers were filled with beforehand. All the surviving coffers are made of granite, basalt or diorite. Okay, so really, really strong, not very easy to excavate, or make, I should say. Now, also, if you have a look at the front of this is the hieroglyphics. So this is the hieroglyphics on the front of the sarcophagus. So the sarcophagus lid for the Apis bull, with the Apis's name on there as well, which I think is quite amazing. Again, really difficult. And this is the papyrus mentioning the Apis bull as well. I just think it's incredible. If we go back to the picture, so can you see this one on this picture here? You can quite clearly see. Oh, hold on, it's off. It's off again. Hold on, bear with me a second. Oh, I've lost it completely now. Oh no, hold on, let's come out and go back in there again. Let's refresh. There we go. So you can see all the different hieroglyphics and text on here, and it's decorated. There's some beautiful decorations on this, but if you think of how difficult that would be to do this kind of writing, I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, the temples and the tombs are incredible. All of them are incredible. But what I find, sorry, you have to go. I hope to see you again next time. You can catch this up on repeat, by the way. What I find incredible is the fact that they were able to do this perfect Perfect. Square shape, and the shapes for the sarcophaguses, and they were able to hone it out, and then to be able to make it smooth, so smooth, and then to be able to put the hieroglyphic writing on there, or any pictures on there. And we can't even imitate how we do it today. I was watching a program actually just last week of them trying to do one of the pyramid blocks, and it took so much effort for these stonemasons to actually do this stone block, and all it was one of the smaller stone blocks that built the Great Pyramids. And to move it took so many people, and it took them quite a few days to be able to split it, and then to be able to get it into the rough size. I mean, not even a perfect square, or perfect rectangle, I should say. So how on earth did they do these ones? Please don't tell me aliens, because I'll be affronted. But I just think it's quite amazing, and a testament to the workmanship of the ancient Egyptians at that time. I just think it's incredible, don't you? So what we'll do is we'll go over the video again now that we've been through the actual slideshow, going through each of the different parts of the Serapeum. And what you'll see towards the end, you'll see that I'm trying to squeeze round what looks like a sarcophagus. You'd be right in assuming that that is exactly what I'm doing. When they actually plundered the Serapeum, some of the archaeologists tried in the early days, when they were taking all of this stuff back to their home countries, like the Henry Salt collection and things like this. They tried to take one of the sarcophaguses out of the Serapeum, but unfortunately it was way too heavy. So you'll find that the main sarcophagus is in the bottom of the sarcophagus is stuck in the hallway that I have to squeeze to get past, and then just as I'm coming out, where you've got all those little niches and things in the wall, there's the lid. So they literally went, this is way too much, we can't get this out, we probably won't be able to get it on a boat either to be able to take it anywhere, so we may as well just leave it in situ. So you can imagine, can't you, it was just yep, no, not doing that. It's quite funny. It was so beautiful, and makes me want to know more about their engineering. I absolutely agree with you, Melissa. The engineering back in ancient Egyptian times was amazing. I just, I've always had this theory. I don't think the Alexandria Library was the only library that they had in ancient Egyptian times. I really, really don't, because these people were highly intelligent people. We know this, and we do know that every time a foreign foreign mission would go through the country, they would always copy any text that came through. So papyrus rolls, books, stela, anything like that, the Egyptians would actually make a copy of it, and then they would put it in the Alexandria Library. We know that this got destroyed during Cleopatra's time, which is a real shame. But having said that, I still think that the Alexandria Library was one of maybe a few of these grand libraries, and I just don't think we've found it yet. I think somewhere out there in the whole entirety of Egypt, I think there would have been one in the north, one in the centre, and one in the south. At least I think there'd be at least 3 of these grand libraries. I really do, because then they can't have. They would have known. They would have known that if something disastrous had happened, you wouldn't put all your eggs in one basket and just lose everything there and then. So I do believe that somewhere in Egypt there is another, maybe 1 or 2 Alexandria libraries. We just haven't found them yet. They're probably in a vault somewhere, buried away, and one day, I'm hoping in my lifetime, we will find it, so that we can learn some of this amazing history of what was going on, how they did certain things, how they made the pyramids, how they made the obelisks. I mean, without just drawings of them, with just actual texts of actually they explained how they did it. It would be amazing to be able to see all that, wouldn't it? So Has anybody got any questions for me before we actually go back into the video? And don't forget, this is a free tour, but if you would like to show me some love, you may do. It would be absolutely amazing. If you'd like to buy me a coffee, I'd be really, really grateful. It just helps me dedicate a little bit of extra time to these tours to be able to make them perfect for you and to be able to do the research, because as you know, research is a lot. You need a lot of research to get these and get all the information, even if I can't say something sometimes. There was a library found in Tibet with 84,000 texts. See, there you go, Terry. That's what I mean, right? So it can't be just that one library. I mean, these people, you know, for all their intelligence, they couldn't have gone, yeah, we only need one library. We only need one source of knowledge. Why would we have another one? Doesn't make any sense at all. No sense whatsoever. Wish more people today had the same reservations for knowledge and learning. Yeah, me too, Melissa. I really do. I do think we've plateaued a little bit with knowledge these days, and we kind of put too much emphasis on our technology, with AI coming in the way it is as well. It's a very scary world these days, I have to say. I'm not averse to AI. It has its place and it does help an awful lot with certain things, but I do think that we stopped using our brain power as much as we could, let's put it that way. Especially the younger generation. I never thought I'd ever hear myself say that. It's terrible, isn't it? So let's go over to the video so you can have one more walkthrough now that we've been through the whole of the slideshow and we've talked about different sections, and see if you can spot some of those bits within the Serapeum that we've been talking about this evening. By the way, those lights in the floor that you see, it's to highlight the original flooring underneath the walkway, so you can see what that's like. And can you see the sarcophagus coming up that they've tried to drag out, stuck in the middle of the hallway? I mean, you know, hats off for getting it this far. And that's the granite lid in front of us there. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Serapeum in Saqqara. So if you ever do go to Egypt and you have only got time to do a few things while you're in Cairo, yes, of course, do the Great Pyramids. You should always do those, and go to some of the special places that I've mentioned along the way. But also do take a trip out to Saqqara. You can actually spend a whole day in Saqqara. There's so much to see there. You've got I believe it's 3 different pyramids actually just in the Saqqara complex. So you have the pyramid of Djoser, then you've got the pyramid of Unas, and then there's one other. I can't remember who the other one is for, but the third one has all the pyramid text in, which is absolutely incredible to go and see anyway. And then you've got so many tombs there as well, so many tombs. And then it's like a great big place where you have to drive around some of it, but also you have the Serapeum, which is just incredible in itself. I mean, it's just go for that. So if you to do, I would say the highlight of Saqqara would be to do Joseph's pyramid, to do the pyramid of Unas. There are some tombs that I would recommend to go and see, but you have to, I can't think of the names of them off the top of my head right now. I could probably tell you visually where to go and see them, but I couldn't tell you the names of all of them. And also to the Serapeum. I mean, it's just breathtaking, and there's so much, and it's on like different levels. So you're starting with the oldest and you're coming forward in time a little bit, so you're getting a little bit of rounded history of the evolution of Egyptian art and technology of the time, which I think is just incredible anyway. So does anybody have any questions they'd like to ask me before we bring this tour to an end this evening? You can ask me anything at all about the tour. I have got another tour for us next week on Wednesday. God willing, it goes ahead and I don't have any distractions. It's horrible when you have to actually do a proper job and work for a living. It's a real pain, it really is. So I will be doing the Ancient Family Tree next week. Ancient Family Tree. Not sure which one I'm going to do yet, so you're going to have to wait and see. But that will be the tour next week. I have to bring you with us who wants to visit. I am open to going back to Egypt anytime. You don't have to ask me twice. I am putting a tour together for those interested actually for next year. So if you are interested, do drop me a DM either on the Facebook page or email me through Buy Me a Coffee. You can do any of those things. Don't forget you can get to my Buy Me a Coffee page. I know I keep posting the link here, but here it is for you for your convenience again. So you can send me a message through there if you're interested in coming. We're looking to do a really special tour next year where we are going to be going and seeing we're going to try and get private access to certain places like the Sphinx, for instance, to go and see the Dream Stealer and also the Sphinx up close and personal. I would like to go and stroke the kitty cat there. Also, I'd like to try and see if I can get us into the Black Pyramid, which is in near the Bent Pyramid, not far from there. I'd also like us to go and see some of the tombs, like Hatshepsut, like Senenmut, and also Tutmosis III, if it's not open by then, and maybe Amenhotep II. I'd like to get us into those tombs so we can see the full of the 18th dynasty. I think that would be incredible. And then go down down to Aswan as well, possibly to do some stuff down there. So if you are interested in coming along on that trip, do send me a DM and I will keep you on the list for when I've got all the pricing together and get it out to you in the next couple of months. So do bear that in mind. But that is it for me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, if you'd like to buy me a coffee, please do go to my Buy Me a Coffee page, and it might be a coffee, it might be a gin. Wish me luck tomorrow because I have a charity netball match. I've got 5 games tomorrow, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to be at the end of that. So do wish me luck for that. And I look forward to seeing you hopefully in one piece next week. But it's been an absolute pleasure. You can check out what other tours I've got coming up on my Buy Me a Coffee in the extras page on there, or you can go to the live stream, live events on Facebook page, which has a fabulous calendar with a multiple variety of different tours that you can hop on and off, and they do keep the lovely ladies there keep us updated all the time. They are absolutely brilliant. So hopefully see you out on tour very, very soon. So that is it for me this evening. It's been my absolute pleasure again. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something, a little bit of something extra, and I hope I haven't bored you too much. But until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful evening. It's been my absolute pleasure. I look forward to seeing you all again very, very soon, and thank you to anybody that's bought me a coffee this evening. It's very much appreciated. Until next time, have a good evening. Love to all. Good night. Take care. Or I better put you on full screen so you can see my face. There we go. Hi. So until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I'll see you all again soon. Until next time, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and I'll see you again soon. Take care for now.